Welcome back to the show, everybody. Lupinranger versus Patranger number 24. Promise to return alive. Now, when the episode was getting into it, and I thought I understood what the episode was trying to do, the episode didn't do quite what I thought. But then, now that I'm on the mic thinking about it, is the show did more than I thought it did, because it didn't give me the gratification of the bonding episode that was happening here between Kairi and between Tsukasa. Because it's like, you got G.O.D running around like Lucky Charms and all this, like magically delicious or whatever the hell, joke. But I thought the show was finna set up for something more immediate of them being like, well, I looked you up when I was investigating thinking you was a Lupinranger, but you are, but you ain't. But I learned something in there that we got a lot more in common. And then in there we got some Tsukasa backstory where, she judo flipped the dude because some dude was trying to reach up her friend's skirt, and you learn about granddaddies and how much they love them and how much you've lost your parents and all of this stuff. I'm sitting up here thinking that, well, it's going to be some instant gratification. And it's like, we got a little bit of that in the fight when Kairi just sat up here, snatched and just started dumping at G.O.D. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got a little bit of that. But given that this show is trying to play long game, because you need to invest a little bit more in this little brother big sister thing you trying to build with both of these characters, that's not something that can be resolved in one episode. Now that I think about it, at the same time, we still in the middle of how do I want to call this? Give me a second. Let's call it Noel time, right? Let's just call it Noel time, just for the sake thereof. Well, we still trying to get to know this character. It seemed like they done pretty much got over like whatever the hell Noel was doing. And given the actual setup for what's coming, because I am a Sentai fan and know what's coming, that boy Ramon got super big, and then police took L's. So you already know what that means. Clusterfuck Zord coming. I'm like, you already know. It's like, what, episode 24? They do for a clusterfuck Zord, because let's see. Let's go down the clusterfuck Zord list, right? Okay, we introduce new Ranger with Zord, right? We get to know Ranger. Rangers take L's, then you get super clusterfuck Zord to win the day, and that's your thing for a while till you get one another 15, 20 episodes down the line as the plot demands it. And given that this is a versus show where you have two Reds and you got all the possibilities of Noel time and interfering with the Lupin collection and all that, it could be power-ups out the ass for days. We don't know. Power-ups out the AWS, that culo. The culo. But I honestly think that even though that I'm making fun of that I want to go back to this Kairi and Tsukasa thing, because there's something really important I really do want to get off my chest about that whole thing. Is that when you think about it in this way, you are trying to technically, well, not even technically, no, you are. You're humanizing the conflict. Because see, when you really get down to brass tacks, like, what's the conflict really? Cops, robbers. Cowboys, Indians, call it however I call it, is that you are trying to humanize the conflict. Is that you have to understand that at some point, these seven are going to have to get on the same page. Because again, we are talking about a show where Alpha Boss Dog sits in a chair, spins a blade, and niggas take L's. So, given this information, at some point they gotta get on the same page. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we've talked about how these relationships have been building for a while. You got Kairi and Keiichiro, they got that burning, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you got Omika and you got Sakia trying to build that love thing or whatever. You got Noel trying to get around with everybody. Tsukasa loves to hug on squeezy things, and Tuma just there to just cook up this work. So you have all of these things, and like I said, and because we are still in Noel time, and we are trying to like build these dynamics that are going to carry us for the rest of the show, and that's the key important thing, is that I lost my train of thought. Let's run that back one more time. these dynamics of these relationships you were trying to build with these seven, and of course you got Kogure in the cut who sat up here and showed up major. They just sitting there talking about like, yo, where Giwi at? Kogure just like, here niggas, and I'm just like, y'all, Kogure shit, gangster. I'm like, Jim Carter was putting in work. He like, yo, man, I'm like, Noel sat up here and draw Rukia drawing like, yo, find these niggas. Oh wait, I found the niggas, and I'm just like, eh. But seriously, no joke. Again, like I said, we are in the midst because we've introduced Noel into what used to be a very simple conflict of cops and robbers. Like, remember that's what this show is based on. It's a versus show about cops and robbers, right? And it was this for a while, and it was simple. That, you know, when the only thing we were trying to build character, it happened on one side, and then the Lupinrangers would show up if it ain't their turn to steal the Lupin collection piece and just blast off away like Team Rocket, and that's just what it was. When you introduce Noel into this conflict, and his goal to get them to be one cohesive unit, you now have a whole different dimension to the conflict that you didn't have, because you have someone saying that, well, it ain't much as a conflict as y'all think it is, because while y'all sitting up here thinking this, I'm here with it. I'm cube on cube with it. 4D chess on y'all ass. Because see, yes, Keiichiro wants to put a bullet in every gongler in existence. Yes, the Lupinrangers want to steal all them collection pieces to get them people unfroze. That's a thing. But then to have these conflicting ideals, these conflicting feelings, and everything that is conflicted that I could name your adverb here, is just know that, again, like I said, when you introduce Noel into this conflict, it changed the dimension of how we look at the conflict, we look at the characters within the conflict, and then most importantly, the conflict itself. Because again, like I said, the conflict was this, with a little bit of this, and that being Beyblades, that being cute make you grow girl, and that being fucking Bakugo's big uncle. So yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm just clowning right now. I'm just clowning. That's Bakugo, but that's Bakugo big uncle, dog. And shout out to My Hero Academia nuts. Look, regardless. Again, to get back on point. Just think about this. This was our conflict. Our conflict had a bit of, I like my hand like this, like over here, let's just say where my head at. Where I am, like back here, okay, say this is the conflict, where my head is Beyblades. Let's just call it Beyblades, right? This is this. And every now and then it's this, but it's not this enough for it to make sense. But then, let's say, this DualShock is Noel. You have introduced this into what is this. Now we have true dimension, because you have this in the middle of that, while this is sitting back here spinning Beyblades, making things grow and making things fucking explode, which isn't as important. Oh, did I mention my nigga's amigo was in this episode? Because if I didn't, I just did. If I didn't, I just did. My question is, before we get up out of here and we wrap this one up, is if you are trying to grow, and my whole point was, if you're trying to grow this little brother big sister relationship between Kairi and Tsukasa, is what is the ultimate payoff of that? It's like it's easy to see that, you know what I'm saying, that what you could do with that. It's like as I get closer and get caught up to what is going to be, what I already know is going to happen. Because that episode where the truth come out, where everything is laid out on the table, we are going to remember all of this conflict, all of the relationships built within this conflict, with this secret separating these two, and it's like a Noel in the middle somewhere, and Gongla sitting up here in the cusp spinning Beyblades, making things grow and making shit explode, right? To understand, that's our conflict here, and that's what we watch when we watch this show. Again, I'm like, again, like when I started this, it's like I said this, and I feel that on our way out of here, it bears repeating. I was kind of a little perturbed a little bit that we didn't get more of some resolution, or at least a more of a jump start to that little brother big sister thing that they building. But that's something that has to build over time. So it's like it's not over. You gonna get I'm like, I guarantee we gonna get another Kyrie Tsukasa moment before the truth come out. That's just a thing that just makes sense for just the plot. So it's like we'll see. Regardless, great episode, man. I'm like, I know I'm behind. I'm like, I know they're like episode 40. I'm talking about episode 24. I got some work to do, but I'm gonna have to do some more work. So, with all that being said, I only ask you to do 3 things with some commas in between. Sit back, relax, and stay tuned. Well, actually, those are three sentences. Sit back, relax, and stay tuned. You know who it is that I am. I am the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D. And you live right here on Team G.O. Rap TV. And I'd like to thank all of you for joining me for another installment of Triple the God Speaks On. And with all of that being said, we'll be right back after these commercial messages. Don't forget, next episode, we're going to talk about clusterfuck Lord, because we love that shit. More show after these commercial messages.